What's up, LC heads? Wonderful day today. We finally get to kick off the Redux rerun of Nier Automata. And this has always just been one of my favorite collabs. I love these heroes. The androids are an S plus in my book any day. Now, the funny thing is, I just did a video about what Scarlet, Iris, whatever the hell her name is, yesterday, and she's a counter character. She was a collab hero that we also got, who was a counter hero. I didn't really build her until counter became a viable thing via guild versus guild, right? So, counter characters, pretty cool. I shoot my video yesterday. The game goes down for maintenance. I open her up today. Go in here. My very first or second pull, 2P came down. I'm gonna want to call her 2B, but this is the 2P body replica. She looks good. The sprite looks good. Everything looks good. I am so glad they kept our little floating Nier Automata robot buddy with the sprite. She just looks killer. I was gonna kind of wonder what they were gonna do with her, right? Because we have the original Yorha 2B. She's an evade character, so when she evades, her skill gets powered up, she gets more damage. She's going to be able to dish out some decent damage, and she's going to be able to run away from a lot of damage through evading. So that's kind of what 2B was. I still would set her up in a PvP team just to kill some time. Hopefully she could evade some attacks. Overall, she was really never a heavy hitter because of the way that the game moved along. As soon as like 2B came out, other collabs came out and we started getting upgrades, and this was one of the first collabs to be just dust in the wind. Just IMO, of course. Well, now 2P is here, so we have a new form. She looks killer. Look at those sprites. Oh, look at that sprite. She looks good. So, real quick, going over her, she is a machine type. Right, she has some pretty good ailment resistances. She's going to get -1 to all of those, I believe. It's one of her in her traits, I think. So pretty straightforward here. A little bit of weakness to earth element, so something to keep in mind there. Stats look pretty, I don't know, pretty standard Android stats. Nothing too absolutely crazy. We go over to the abilities. She's going to be doing thunder damage. That's right, Thundercat Ho. Here we go. The S1 is instantly close the gap for medium area thunder combo attack. The S2, Skyward Blade, medium area thunder combo attack that throws enemies into the air. That's pretty good for GVG2. Throwing the enemy party up in the air and juggling them while they're up in the air. You're doing damage to them. You're probably doing increased damage based on what SC abilities you took. But the important thing is when they're up in the air being juggled, they're not attacking you, right? We have the S3 Double Edge Blade. Charge and deal a frontal medium area thunder combo attack that pushes enemies. So you're going to be able to push people around. And finally, the special attack drill dance. I'm just guessing here. Haven't even really seen this thing. I'm just guessing that the special is going to be for looks. Powerful thunder combo attack to all enemies. I'm just going to guess that it's just here for looks, or, you know, to take some of those abilities that give you 30% more defense or 30% more attack or damage when your special is charged. Maybe I'm wrong about that. We will see, right? I don't really have her awakened or anything. We have 120 abilities unlock, and she's almost kind of enhanced, right? So we get to the good stuff. We get to the traits. All-purpose battle model. Skill special damage 30%. Damage cap 7,000. I know you're like, what? That's not that much. But another weapon can be equipped in the place of armor. So here is 2 weapon equipped, built into a trait, so you don't have to take dual wield for 14 SC. So you might as well just say that this saved you 14 SC on dual wield. 2 weapons equipped, double physical attack and counter hit counts. So having 2 weapons equipped is also going to increase your counter hit count. So when you counter, you got 2 weapons equipped, you're getting more counter hits, and it definitely shows. Cut each hit's damage to 60%, the typical dual wield penalty, of course. When equipped with 2 weapons and taking physical attacks, chance to activate a powerful counter. Oh, this is the creme de effing creme. This is where it gets good. Because counters from this trait have a different animation from regular counters. Yes, these are super counters. Counter damage plus 75% and damage cap. What is that? Oh yeah, 20,000. So slowly the damage cap is coming up. I know you're like, well, we're still missing some damage cap. What's going on? There's only 27,000 in here. Yeah, she has a skill where you're getting 15,000 more to damage cap, I believe, at the price of getting +1 to all your ailment resistances. So, you know, everything that's nil and that's resistant, you're going to get +1 to that. So you're going to become a little bit weakened to ailment resistances. She has quick recovery to recover from them faster. All in all, I still have to play around with that, but we'll look at that skill here in a second. All-purpose battle model is the shit. I mean, that's just great. But then we have another trait. We have pod combat support. Give skills pod extra attacks. So cool. This is empowering our S1, S2, and S3. It's adding more hits. We're already dual wielding. Awesome. Combo master much, right? Here's the defensive part of this. When taking attacks, chance to give unit recharge buff for 10 seconds. The recharge buff activates. The pod extra attack won't activate, but physical attack damage taken minus 30%. That's a nice chunk. Cut damage taken by 30%. You're already like a freaking counter character. You're going to be pretty tanky. We'll have to see what we can do with all of this and just how this recharge buff works. It automatically changes it. So, you know, this almost kind of reminds me of, what's his name? Dine? Nah, the Master of Sands. He has an ability he activates and gives himself like, I don't know, 50% damage reduction or some shit. And then as soon as you actually start using his skills, he goes into a different mode and starts doing more damage instead of getting more damage reduction or whatever. It's very easy to control. It kind of does it for you. I think this is going to be kind of somewhat close to that. You're going to want to pay attention and make sure that you don't have your recharge buff active when you're trying to spam your S1, your S2, and your S3, because you're going to want the pod extra attacks being applied to those skills. So before you start dumping your kit, kind of check to see if you have the pod recharge buff active. That's what I'm gonna say. Aside from that, we do have some tasty stuff in here, right? She comes with royal armor. Cool, because that doesn't actually require armor. We have counter boost 3. Counter damage 75%. Damage cap 7,500. We have counter boost 5. Counter damage 100%. Counter damage cap another 10,000. Very nice. Iron wall counter 2. When counters activate, damage taken minus 50%. That's dope. And counter charge has been looking pretty damn good. It's charging that kit of hers fairly quickly. When counter activates, restore 1 SCT. No flinch proof. Okay, they've decided to go the counter way instead, right? So instead of just flinching through enemy attacks and doing damage, you don't need to flinch proof because you're going to be countering and doing damage. So it all depends on how you want to look at it. Flinch proof is probably more useful for bosses. This counter thing is more useful for GVG. So it all depends on what game mode you're trying to play. Right, we have the Machine Buster, of course, Auto Critical, Auto Haste, Patience 2, Awaken 2. We have Thunder Attack Rise 5. Thunder Attack damage 30%, damage cap another 3,000. All in all, not too bad, right? There's 60% plus 3,000 to damage cap here between Thunder Attack Rise 2 and 5. We have the Crit Rise. We have Thunder Weapon Breakthrough 2. So when you're hitting an attribute weakness with Thundercats, ho, you're going to get some more damage cap, some more damage. Pose of Glory, Weapon Stories, this is cool. Equipped weapon, strength 50%, attack damage 20% to same attribute as equipped weapon. Very nice. Damage boost doesn't stack when equipping 2 weapons of the same attribute. I'm glad they hammered out the details there. Weapon Stories is still very nice. Sword Giga Boost. When sword is equipped, physical attack damage 30%. Physical attack damage cap 3k. Special boost 2, we know what that does. Rapid recovery, we need. Operation OS chip. Right, we unplug this, we die. We still have the reliquary system. When revived, apply strength, defense, intelligence, and mind plus 30% buff to unit. It's very nice to have built in. And we have our plug-in chip counter. Based on a number of plug-in chips, skill set boost counter damage. 1, 120%, 2, 80%, 3, 40%, and cut damage taken during counter. 1, 50%, 2, 20, and 3, 30. So this, just like her old version, this lets you choose which chips are plugged into your Android, right? So the less chips you have, the more of a bonus you get from the chips you already have. So notice we have plug-in chip melee defense unplugged based on number of plug-in chips, cut physical attack damage. If this is the only thing equipped, you automatically get physical attack damage minus 50% if this is the only chip that you have. Hey, you could do that for guild versus guild as well, and forget about trying to take the enemy team out. Just make her unkillable, or as unkillable as possible, and give her a bunch of damage reduction. She will run the clock out and get some nifty counters in there too. We have E-Drug. Give unit a basic status ailment resistance minus 1 debuff. Skill and special damage cap, though, 15,000. So, E-Drug is pretty dope. I think this is why we don't see some more crazy damage cap in her traits, because they've locked 15,000 of her damage cap behind the E-Drug. Yes, we're going to have to get a minus 1 debuff resistance to our ailments to get this. And we're going to automatically get this when the fight starts. So, there's that. I'm going to have to work up a way to get around some of that. We're going to have to see just how bad that affects her. We know how well 15,000 more damage cap affects her, though, so that's cool. So, this is what mine came with out of the box. I've added some crit up and stuff like that. Very easy stuff. We have Savage Strike on her, Tempest Dragon Blessing, just for the damage reduction and the strength, right? That's it, though, right? I don't even have any, like, Thunder Crit Rise or anything. Very simple build. 84 SC. Let's see. Let us see how she does in Heart of the Temple. I just ran Violet in here, so she have a pretty decent idea of how she stacks up to an actual built Violet. Scarlet, whatever the hell her name is. Both of these are at like the same amount of SC. Look at that sprite. She looks good. So, no magic to cast. No charisma, nothing. She's going to really be using other heroes' charismas and stuff. So we got nothing to throw right now. We are starting off at 5546 strength, 2214 defense, and intelligence is 1065, and mind is 1560. We have stun resist. So yeah, this is her. Oh, I'm going to show you guys the weapons that I took. She has a spear and a sword, right? Suzuka's Night Sword, and just some very, very simple stuff. We're just going to start with the basic attacks. Basic attacks. Oh, and there's our counter. There's our counter. There's our counter going off. Notice our health isn't budging. Like, I've only been touching basic attack button. There's that counter. It is absolutely smashing everything. So the birds are dead already. Birds are dead already. Oh, did she just proc that off of a magic? That's crazy. That is crazy. Look at that. This girl this girl just countered all of these damn birds. And they actually have a resistance to thunder. She's doing all thunder damage. They have a 50% thunder resistance. He's got an 80% thunder resistance. Look at their health. This is just off of counter. Look at our skill charged. We haven't used any of it. We haven't done a damn thing. Let's get over to this Moth. Here's an S1. Here's an S2. Some of that airplay. Here's that nasty S3. Ooh, that one got interrupted. Here's that S3 all the way through. Pretty decent damage. The Ogre here just cannot mess with us. I don't even think he could power up and kill us right now. Oh, you know, I shouldn't have said that. We should recover fairly quick, though. We should still have 1 life left to live. It's inevitable. You get stunned in this fight halfway through no matter what. Okay, we did just revive. What are our stats looking like? 55-46. Okay, not too bad. So we haven't actually used our revive ability. So again, like, yo, we're only doing 20% of our damage. Considering she's a counter character, I think the skill kit's getting there through there pretty good. So it's going to be one of these things where, so no flinch proof, right? When she does get her kit though, and she does not have that recovery buff on her, so she's getting all of the added hit counts to her S1, her S2, and her S3. She is still a force to be reckoned with, aside from being a counter character. So that's pretty cool. We'll have to see what she's all about. She absolutely smoked this. Way better than Iris, or whatever the hell her name is that I was reviewing yesterday. And actually, I could take some of my counter equipment and put it on this girl, because I do have that axe that that gives you, another 75% damage to counter. But like, this is ridiculous because she doesn't even need it. It's just wild. So that's what I have to say about 2P so far. She is gonna be making the GVG team hands down, nice and easy. No attacks. We're not gonna use any attacks at all. We're just gonna stand here. There we go. So I think what she does is she throws like a sword out. Man, look at their health just melt. And they all have attribute resistance. And they just melt. That is so ridiculous. Just from that counter of hers. Oh, it's dumb crazy from the back. So yeah, that counter is where it's at. Very cool. Can't wait to run her some more. And just actually see like a better close-up of it, of how she's doing it. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, so she's doing like an attack, and then she throws a sword. There we go. That counter looks like another character's S1. That's what I'm going to say. That's very cool. Looks like it's going to be hitting everybody around. I sure did a number on the birds. All in all, very cool. I think she's very dope, and I'm going to be working on her. And, folks, we still have our Nier Automata Gundam coming. That's right, Nines finally gets his ass into a Gundam and blesses us with his presence. That's what's on next, on the next banner. So, can't wait for that. The Arc, folks, does have some counter shenanigans in it. It does look good. I do want the Arc to play around with. Right, and very cool. I'm very happy with this so far. The collab looks good. I hope everybody is having a blast. And I will see you on the flip side. Something tells me Nines is just going to be off the freaking chain. I think they're actually trying to do some justice by these heroes. So it all depends on how much you value counter for this hero in particular. If setting up a guild team is something that's important to you and you want to support your local guild, she might be worth picking up. If not, hold out till the next banner, and I will see you on the flip side. Oh, that's right. She does have some gear. Talk about her gear later. Both of her pieces of gear are adding to her counter, so get whichever one you want, depending on how badly you want it. I might have to pick or choose one. I tell you what, when I get around to doing that, we'll make a quick recording going over her items. So if I missed anything, please leave me a comment, let me know, educate the class, and make sure to like and sub, show the channel some love. That's how we keep this channel afloat. We are blacklisted. Anyway, I will see you later. Have an awesome day, everybody. Happy Collab Redux Day.